title screen.
Voyage Through Disability, an individual life coaching and corporate consulting company, is proud to present This Week in Disability History for July 23 to July 30, 2023.
We transition to a classroom. A white male walks in and starts using a pointer to point to a chalkboard. The rest of the video has him lecturing and pointing to the board as text appears.
This channel is being launched this week in honor of the Americans with Disabilities Act and all the people who peacefully protested for it. This is part 2, which will discuss the definition of disability in the ADA and the ADAAA. This is a basic intro. It is not legal advice. ADA equals Americans with Disabilities Act from 1990. ADAAA equals Americans with Disabilities Act Amendments Act from 2008. The 1990 ADA definition of disability is a physical or mental impairment that substantially limits one or more of the major life activities of such individual. B. A record of such an impairment. Or C. Being regarded as having such an impairment. The 2008 definition of disability starts the same way, with parts A, B, and C. However, it continues by adding more definitions and details. One of the additions is the definition of major life activities, which is A. In general. For purposes of paragraph 1, major life activities include, but are not limited to, caring for oneself, performing manual tasks, seeing, hearing, eating, sleeping, walking, standing, lifting, bending, speaking, breathing, learning, reading, concentrating, thinking, communicating, and working. B. Major bodily functions. For purposes of paragraph 1, a major life activity also includes the operation of a major bodily function, including but not limited to functions of the immune system, normal cell growth, digestive, bowel, bladder, neurological, brain, respiratory, circulatory, endocrine, and reproductive functions. For purposes of paragraph 1c, an individual meets the requirement of being regarded as having such an impairment if the individual establishes that he or she has been subjected to an action prohibited under this act because of an actual or perceived physical or mental impairment, whether or not the impairment limits or is perceived to limit a major life activity. For purposes of paragraph 1c, B. Paragraph 1c shall not apply to impairments that are transitory and minor. A transitory impairment is an impairment with an actual or expected duration of 6 months or less. The definition of disability in paragraph 1 shall be construed in accordance with the following. The definition of disability in this Act shall be construed in favor of broad coverage of individuals under this Act, to the maximum extent permitted by the terms of this Act. B. The term, substantially limits shall be interpreted consistently with the findings and purposes of the ADA Amendments Act of 2008. C. An impairment that substantially limits one major life activity need not limit other major life activities in order to be considered a disability. D. An impairment that is episodic or in remission is a disability if it would substantially limit a major life activity when active. E1. The determination of whether an impairment substantially limits a major life activity shall be made without regard to the ameliorative effects of mitigating measures such as (1) Medication, medical supplies, equipment or appliances, low vision devices, which do not include ordinary eyeglasses or contact lenses, prosthetics including limbs and devices, hearing aids and cochlear implants or other implantable hearing devices, mobility devices, or oxygen therapy equipment and supplies. 2. Use of assistive technology. 3. Reasonable accommodations or auxiliary aids or services. Or 4. Learned behavioral or adaptive neurological modifications. 2. The ameliorative effects of the mitigating measures of ordinary eyeglasses or contact lenses shall be considered in determining whether an impairment substantially limits a major life activity. Three as used in this subparagraph. 1. The term, ordinary eyeglasses or contact lenses means lenses that are intended to fully correct visual acuity or eliminate refractive error, and 2. The term, low vision devices means devices that magnify, enhance, or otherwise augment a visual image. This video was brought to you by Voyage Through Disability, LLC. It is a life coaching company focused on helping people with all types of illnesses, disabilities, and pain conditions discover their goals and create plans to reach them.
End card.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Please visit www.voyagethroughdisability.com for information about life coaching and corporate consulting.